Spiritual baddies who have a good heart and have always been nice to everybody. This is the season to talk back, clap back. I know people say, don't involve yourself in that negativity. Baby. Negativity is when you start the mess. That's negativity. But if somebody gonna bring it to me and think that they gonna say whatever they want to say because I have a good heart and I'm a good person, I believe in love and light, that I'm not gonna speak back, you are highly, highly incorrect. I have watched so many people mix up what spirituality is and religion. Religion tells you to be a good person and let them slap you on the cheek and you don't say nothing back. Spirituality says you be balanced with the universe and give exactly what you get back, right? Ebb and flow, right? So if you gonna come at me with heat, you gonna get heat back, period. That's how it goes. Because I keep thinking that people really don't get that nice people are nice because they choose to be. Kind people are kind because they choose to be. These are choices, right? I don't have to be anything other than who I am to appease anybody else if they don't like what I have to say or how I articulate it. But what I keep watching people do is if you say anything that goes outside of their beliefs or understanding of beliefs, then they start getting offended and they start talking crap. And then if you say something back, they're like, oh, whoa, I thought you were a spiritualist. I thought you were kumbaya. And I'm like, yeah, baby, I am on the inside. And you can never disturb that peace. But what you're not going to do is come up to my human avatar and think you're going to disrespect them, right? My soul is balanced. My human got hands. You understand? I think it's so fascinating that we think that in order to be tough or to be a badass or whatever you want to call it, you have to be. No, I am smiling all the time and I can still be whopping if I needed to, right? I'm not a fighter if I don't have to be. But if I need to be, I will definitely protect myself and take care of myself, right? There's a lot of people who, I'm using that as an example, but they'd be like, oh, I say God a lot. And they instantly think I'm talking about Christianity. Do you understand that God is not mono? God is universal. There's many people who believe in many different ideologies and expressions of God, right? Jesus, that's a he, that's a person. So yeah, you can say Jesus, that's fine. Have nothing against them. Love them, we're cool. But when I say God, I am talking about universal energy that pulsates through us all. Every animal, every tree, every plant, everything, right? There's not one singular human on this earth that has so much power or energy from when back when or when back now that they are able to just change everything in the world, unless they have the backing of emotional conscious of other human beings who are deciding to put that person in power, right? Who are deciding to give that person energy, right? This is where I say spirituality is so important because you have to know discernment between ebb and flow of yin and yang, the balance of darkness and light, right? No one is meant to be only darkness and no one is meant to be only light. You can be, but you're going to fall apart at some point because you're going to have an imbalance of needing the other, right? People who are always super light, those are the people who are martyrs for the cause and they will get taken out because they just want to set a principle versus the people who are going for the dark and they'll take them out because they don't care, right? And they get to survive and everyone's like, why does good always seem like it's not winning? Because there's a level of balance to good, right? Just like a mother lion. She cool until you mess with her babies, right? Then she gonna snap your neck, right? Understand that's a part of spirituality. Spirituality is simply saying, listen, honey, it's an ebb and flow. If you are not balancing out my ebb to my flow, you gotta go. It's that simple. So, spiritual baddies, stop sitting on yourself. Message. Slam that door in people's face when they start talking crap. Cut people off who are not giving back to you. Don't sit here and keep integrating your energy into things that don't make sense, right? I speak spirituality about balance of consciousness, not spirituality of religion. I'm letting people know this because God can be a part of religion because it's an interpretation of universal spirit, which is, how does the universe work? How does the sun work? How does this work? So we say, well, this is science and this is this. And then there's someone who's like, well, there's an energy connected to it because there's something spiritual. Yes, you are absolutely right. That to me is God's source, which is the same as science. They both go together. It's an interpretation. But people choose to separate them, right? And then they go, well, this is religion and this is science and they can't mix. Okay, says you. Says you, right? That's where logic messes people up, as well as emotional bypassing. Because if you're not choosing to understand that we are a hybrid of both masculine and feminine energy who are meant to do both, right? We're meant to show up and we're meant to sit back. We're meant to speak up and sometimes we're meant to be quiet. But you have to, again, use discernment, know how to recognize when it's time to say, listen, I sat on this long enough, and I understand that you're not going to enjoy what I have to say. But if you come at me with an attitude attacking me, I am a human being still, so I have primal instincts to be like, if you don't get my face, right? I don't need to sit back and be like, oh, well, love and light, da 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 da. No, baby, I don't do, that's not me, okay? Love and light means protect yourself, period, at all costs. You don't have to go out here and be violent and hurt nobody and starting fights and nothing like that. That's not love and light. But if something comes towards you and it brings you the heat, give them the heat back. Use discernment. Again, don't go out here starting arguments with people you know is off keel and they might kill, right? That's where the discernment comes in. But again, if it's just a conversation or just boundary settings, do that. Because the one thing I've noticed that people do with the spiritual baddies and the spiritualists and the emotional people, as soon as we express our emotions, oh, you too sensitive. Yeah, I am. I'm sensitive to weak people. I'm sensitive to basic bitches because I don't have time to be sitting here letting you think you're right because you have a conglomerate of people who are just as basic behind you saying, yeah, we agree. To what? We don't know, but we agree. Get out my face. Get out of my face. That's why I love Amanda Seales, because she's like, listen, if I have to stand alone to speak my truth, I'm going to do so. If you don't like how she says it, that's fine. But that's the one thing I've told people. You're so caught up on tone versus listening to the message that you're going to get lost in translation. And with me, I am not going to be the person that's going to sit back and keep letting people talk crazy to me, ever. I've never been that type of person. I will never accept that type of speech, but I still know how to love someone through a process. I still know how to care about people and understand that it's like, listen, you're not always going to appreciate my delivery. You're not always going to appreciate what I have to say, but appreciate that I'm taking the time to stay in my peace, right? Appreciate that I'm taking the time to stay balanced, right? Some people don't like that because they don't know how to do it. So that's why I say, don't let people come disturb your peace. Do not. Because peace to me is not always walking away. Sometimes peace is, oh no, you got to get this karma because you're asking for it. And those people, when they get it, they're like, oh, I didn't know. I thought you were just like love and light. I was like, I am, but you gonna see me fight if you keep playing with me, okay? So this is what I want people to remember. It's a platform that I have. Spirituality has never been about not speaking up for yourself. It's always been about finding balance with yourself in this human world that we have no control over except to participate in how things happen. And if we know how things work, then we can direct them in a different way. But, that's just how life goes, and that's okay. My soul, on the other hand, it's been through lifetimes of stuff, and it has a lot of different memories of what I can do, what I did do, and what I might do. And so I would prefer that people just respect that, listen, if we don't agree, we don't agree. When people say stay in your lane, they mean stop trying to go out of your way to start stuff that don't make sense. If it ain't got nothing to do with you, leave it alone. And if you have an opinion about it, you better be ready to back it up, right? Don't just come at people because you think their topic don't make sense or you think they're weak because they're nice or kind or loving and sweet. That's silly, because those are the ones, as we said, will get you in your place real quick. So this is just a public service announcement. If you a baddie and you spiritual and you're usually meek and quiet, it's time for you to speak up and let people be known that you are not the one to be knocked off your throne. Love ya.